Hey guys, how's it going? So Chad came over a little while ago. We've been playing with the Wicked Edge here, reprofiling some cold steels. As we've complained about before, every cold steel comes with an asymmetric edge, makes it really hard to sharpen. So we've been fixing them.
Sharp.
Yeah, keep sharp. We've been trying to reprofile them on the Wicked Edge here. So thought I'd take this opportunity to show you us reprofiling the last cold steel we need to fix. That's Chad's Spartan. And this knife has had some pretty significant edge damage. He's gotten aggravated with it and tried to fix it with power tools. So yeah, we're gonna do a reprofile and hopefully get this thing real sharp, show you guys, and it'll be good for us getting experience on the system. So go ahead and get started. First thing that you would probably do would be to set your arms. We've already got ours set at 20 degrees here. It's what Chad wants the knife at. But as you guys can see, they've got these little wheels here, and you can move them back and forth. Get the inside edge set where you want it. We've got ours set right on the 20, and just get it tight. I can tighten it, just no guarantee of that. But yeah, so once you've got your arms set, you're gonna get your knife in there. You've got your little depth guide. I'm not using their little ruler that they included. I'm just trying to get it to a spot where it looks like we'd be taking about an equal amount of material in each place. So about halfway through the recurve portion for this knife. Not sure if that's right or not. That's still one of the things that we're trying to learn. Isn't really fleshed out well in the manual, so we're trying to do our best to figure it out on our own. Like I said, we haven't done a complete gamut of research on this system yet. We're kind of figuring it out as we go. So there we've got it set. The first screw, the top screw, you're going to use to pull the jaws shut, and then the bottom screw, pushes the bottoms out, which pushes the top in, giving you some more tension. And going to go ahead and get started. Got our 100, 200 grit stones here. Slip those onto our arms. And then you just start. And I'm trying, I know you can do the scrubbing thing. Chad's alright with that. I'm not. I prefer to just do slow stroke by stroke. Make sure I'm keeping the stone in line with the bevel, and make sure I can feel it cut all the way down. Go by feel with the hundreds until we feel that we're not cutting as much on the bevel. It's sort of a by feel thing. There's also, you can test it like various people have said, by running a Q-tip up each side and down each side, and just trying to see when you've got it real symmetric. I kind of prefer to go more by feel, and then after I feel like we've got it right, we'll throw some sharpie on the bevel on the blade, and we'll make sure that we're getting all the sharpie off with each of our passes. Then we'll move on up to the 200 grit stones, so I'll show you guys some sharpening with the 100 grits. Then, because we've got quite a bit of reprofiling to do, and a lot of it's going to be done with the 100 grits, we'll spare you guys that. We'll turn off for a little bit, then we'll show you guys with the 200 grits. I'll probably actually reprofile till I feel like throwing the sharpie on, then we'll show you that and make sure that we're getting the sharpie off both sides, and then we'll move up to the 200 grits and up from there and polish the blade till it's hopefully really sharp. So yeah, here we'll just do some of that. Like I said, I prefer the real slow strokes, just using the technique that they talked about in the instruction book of going forward and up, away from you. Trying to keep my hands low so I don't cut myself low on the stones, that is. So yeah, we'll just progress like this for a while, and then when I feel like we're ready for the Sharpie, I will show you guys some more. Okay, so we've done about 100 or so strokes on each side. Still haven't worked out all of the kinks over here on the other side. You guys can't see, there's a couple of dents into the stock itself. Just the damage in general that we're trying to fix. I don't think we're going to get it all out without taking a considerable amount of stock off the knife. Maybe you guys can see it a little bit here, maybe not. But I don't care about taking stock off as long as the angle is symmetric. So going to go ahead and clean. This is one of the ways that we're cleaning the shavings off of the knife, and you're gonna have to do that periodically, not just when you put Sharpie on. And we're gonna go ahead and show you the Sharpie. Go ahead and get that from the portion from the blade to the bevel, and just make sure we're taking it all off with the stones. So I'm slow at this, as you'll see some people are really fast at it. I mean, not about this, the Sharpie, but the system in general, some people go really fast. I just think you've got better control if you go slow. At least I feel that way, and you're at much less risk of cutting yourself, making a little slip. And I think you could definitely gouge yourself if you were to do the equivalent of that. I think that could hurt really bad and cut you real deep. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Sharpie on both sides. Naturally, the side that you guys can't see, I'm doing much better and much faster. And there's that. Still on the 100s. Start doing some more strokes, see if we're taking that black off. All the way around, make sure that we're up to the edge on both sides. And it looks like we are. Go ahead and do some more strokes until it's all gone. As per typical, we're having more trouble getting to the black on the more curved parts of the blade, further away from the center. So we will keep going ahead and doing this until we've reached all those parts. Just wanted to make sure that we've got the angle real consistent so we can start polishing up to our edge. This probably won't be a problem if you've got a straight edge knife and if the knife isn't in need of as much love as this one was. So I was thinking we were going to have more trouble up toward the nose of the blade, but it seems like we're having more trouble here in the back part of the recurve. So maybe we'll do some special attention there. I like to, if I can, just get it all by complete passes, and it looks like that's working fine. And I think we've got everything but right in this section. Even when I'm doing a big section of grinding like this, trying to make sure that the stone stays real flush with the bevel. And do a couple more long strokes, make sure we've got it all symmetrical, conjoined. And then we will flip over to our 200s and keep going. I think that should be roundabout beautiful. Our fragments, our filings off. And I'm going to flip over to the 200s, show you guys a little bit of this, and then we'll cut off again. I'm going to go pretty long time with each stone, just to make sure that we're getting that edge really good so Chad can maintain this at home with his sharp maker. So yeah. We will show you guys again when we feel like moving up to those 400s. But so far this is going well. So as I'm starting to get less resistance, again it's sort of a by feel thing. As you start to feel less resistance from the 200s cutting, probably do 10 more strokes on each side, and then switch on over to your, I think we do 400s next. I'll have to go look at the stones, but yeah, it's 400s. Your next grit. And so you guys can see, hopefully in here, getting less resistance here, so it's probably around time we move up. Just a reminder, from time to time, reach forward, make sure your adjustment knobs are still tight. And I just wipe these off on my jeans when they get real built up. They seem to get clean perfectly fine that way. So those were the 100s and 200s. My 400s and 600s here. And slap those on. And back to the same thing. And we've been using the flashlight. It's a good way to tell when you need to clean the shavings off. We definitely need to clean our shavings off. I'll do that real quick. And on the other side. This will get shavings everywhere. X-Acto has brilliantly come up with keeping a magnet down by your base to pull the shavings in. I haven't gotten a magnet yet, I will. So yeah, same thing with the 400s, just keep cutting until you're not feeling the resistance, and then shift up to the 600s. I'll show you guys that when we get there. So as you guys can see, we threw some more Sharpie on there and got it all off again just to make sure we were hitting all the spots. Definitely noticing after a few knives that you've got to pay more attention to the more curved parts of the blade. Same is true of any sharpener. So maybe, I hate saying you should do scrubbing, but maybe do some scrubbing there. Yeah, Chad likes his scrubbing. So definitely feeling less cutting resistance, more smooth, even ride to the front. So a couple more strokes, we'll switch over to the 600s. And we're getting a much nicer, more consistent edge here, and I like that. Switch and start. And you'll definitely feel some resistance each time you switch stones. Less resistance as you get to the higher grits for obvious reasons. But you'll learn to feel that cutting feeling going away, and then it's either time to clean the filings off the blade, clean the stones, or move up another grit level. And it feels like it's going to take less time each time you move up stones. I try to stay diligent and watch the grind marks, make sure they're getting smaller, more consistent. And this edge is already starting to look beautiful. We've already got 2 more stones and 2 strops to put it through. So we will show you guys around the time we're done with 600s. This thing may get mirror polished. So as you guys can see now, I pulled you in real close for a side view. Just about done with these 600 stones, getting a real smooth, even grind from heel to tip. It's about time to switch again. And we will switch up to our 800 grits. Just wipe those off the jeans and toss those 800 grits on there. Hopefully you guys can see that blade is taking on a real nice, I wouldn't call it a mirror polish by any means yet, but it is taking on a polish. And keep going like this until, like we've talked about, we feel that cutting diminish. The higher grits, you might just want to set yourself a rule of, you know, whatever you want to do, 25, 30 passes on each side. This depends on, you know, how many times you've sharpened a knife before with this system, if you've sharpened it at all. If it's a big if it's a big reprofile, I would say, God. If it's a big reprofile, you know, you're changing the angle a whole lot or you're moving a whole lot of steel, then I would say probably more passes with each stone is better. If you're just touching up, maybe I would say don't touch up on this system. Definitely feel free to, and I think it's a great system for that, especially with the pretty precise measurements of where you put the knife in with depth index and everything like that. But I think you can do your touch up on a strop or a Spyderco Sharp Maker with ceramics if you've got them. I don't have the ceramics for this thing yet. So I've been finishing my edges with that ceramic stone on the Sharp Maker. I'm going to try this time to just go real careful with 1,000 grits and then with the strops and see if I can get a hair popping edge. If not, I'll show you guys the finish on the Sharp Maker. And yeah, I'll show you guys again when we flip over to the 1000s. So there, as you guys can see, I put Sharpie on the blade one last time. I'm going to flip over to the 1000 grits and just make sure that we're getting all that Sharpie off. Make sure we've got all this blade down to a really nice polish. Looks like we're getting all the Sharpie off except a little bit back here in this area. Looks about the same on the other side of the knife. So as I've said, I hate to do it, but we'll do a little bit of scrubbing in there. Make sure we get it all out. And I got it. Now there is no doubt in my mind that we have an exceptionally sharp knife here. I'm going to take it out of the vise and clean that Sharpie off the edge, make sure we've got the edge really clean. Maybe I'll show you guys some cutting and then we will do the stropping. So it is a very nice symmetrical edge. Reprofiling is really where this system shows its strength. So here we are, fresh off the thousands. If you guys can see, I've cleaned most of that Sharpie off the blade. I'm going to do some cutting, show you guys what the thousands will get you. Naturally, I was doing much better cutting right before turning the camera on. But as you guys can see, that is a perfectly serviceable knife edge. Still got a couple of rough spots I'm feeling. Could probably sort those out by going back to the 800s and the 1000s in those specific areas. But there you go. And in all honesty, guys, that is a sharper knife edge than most people will use in their entire lives. I know that's kind of sad, but not everyone is a knife freak. And here's some finer papers, just out of a Game Informer. It's paper I use around here a lot. As you can see, we're getting that really fine edge. Doing plenty of fine cutting. So as you guys can see, I'll do a little bit more tip cutting. And we've got a real fine up edge up there by the tip as well. So I'm going to chuck this thing back in the vise, show you guys the strops, and then we'll be done. And I assume we're going to have a really beautiful edge on here. The strops can only help. So yeah. And so I've reinserted the knife. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with our 5 micrometer, something like that. The 5 side of the strops. Sorry, I'm really not doing well right now, guys. I'm just trying to crank this video out. So be careful, make sure you got your blade really clean before you start with the strops, and also only go that direction, don't go back and pull down. You will damage your strops if you get any metal filings in them or if you cut them by coming back across them. So I'm just going with very light pressure. I just put the stropping compound on the leather. I'm using the smooth side. I know some people have taken the leather off and they've used the rough side. I think the smooth side should do fine. I just put the stropping compound on by taking the syringe that it comes with. I put some on one of the strops and then I rubbed that side on the 5 side of the other and then on the 3 sides, which got the compound spread really nicely around the strop. So that seemed to work pretty well. And then I do that whenever the strop starts to look dirty or not seem to be cutting as well. Not cutting, but you know what I mean. Not massaging the steel as well. So there's a couple runs through on those. Should probably do more, but like I said, I'm just trying to pump this out. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll rub those together, make sure that 5 side is clean. Throw those back on. I'm going to wipe down the blade one last time, just to make sure that I get all the stropping compound off, because the manual says it is important not to mix and match your stropping compounds. I don't know how important it actually is. So now we're on to the green side, the 3.5 side. And just same thing, just nice even strokes. Heel to tip, and the compound on the green is newer than it was on the tan side, so as you guys may be able to see, I'm leaving behind a little bit of compound. That is fine. If it gets so much that you're not contacting the edge with your leather, just go ahead and wipe it off, and keep doing that till you've got a sustainable amount of compound on your leather. And I'll do a couple more strokes. I'm really hoping that this will be hair popping sharp. Like I said, I don't think this time around that the sharp maker will be able to help very much because it's already a very sharp edge. maybe the sharp maker will be able to help get those specific spots a little bit more with the fine points of the triangle stones. But do a couple more of these. I'll show you guys what became, and we will be done. Thank you for watching if you've stayed this long. I realize this is a long video. The review, maybe I'll do a shorter video just walking through the process before I do the review, because I do want to do a very good review of this system. It's an expensive system that not everybody seems to know about as an option, and I do think it's a great option. So that's enough of that. I assume. Pop our blade out. Always loosen your bottom screw first. If you bother to tighten it on some thinner, lighter knives, you won't even have to tighten your bottom screw. And don't let your knife fall out. There's that. Hopefully you guys will be able to, just going to wipe off some of that compound first. Make sure we're all clean. And here I'll do some cutting for you guys to see what our handiwork did. That is immaculate, especially for a knife that's been having the trouble that this one had. That is beautiful. Still some toothy portion in here. See, maybe I'll try to fix it on the sharp maker, or maybe I'll just throw it back in the wicked edge at a different spot, clamp it in differently. Still learning on the system. It may have been something that I did wrong. Maybe I didn't position the knife right or pay enough attention to that one little spot. But up from that last, 2 centimeters at the heel, it is cutting beautifully, as you guys can see. So that is a very successful reprofile in about 2 hours, I'm going to say, to a hair-popping sharp edge. I've done a little bit of shaving. See if I can do some more. Yeah, so you guys can see that is shaving from a knife that was seriously damaged. So I think you're seeing the real strength of this system there, and a real uniform reprofile in a really minimal amount of time. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more of the same.